My name is Olivia Thompson. I'm 33 years old. 7 weeks ago, I sat in my parents' living room during my stepsister Hannah's 25th birthday celebration. 56 people filled their house in Charleston, South Carolina. Extended family, family friends, Hannah's sorority sisters, even some of my father's business associates. My father stood up to make a toast, beaming with pride. Hannah is turning 25 today, and we wanted to give her something special. Something meaningful that represents family legacy and tradition. 56 people watched as my stepmother Caroline brought out a velvet box. My stomach dropped. I knew that box. This, my father continued, opening it to reveal an antique sapphire and diamond necklace, belonged to my mother, Margaret Thompson. She wore it on her wedding day in 1952. It's been in the Thompson family for 3 generations, and now we're passing it to Hannah, our youngest daughter, who embodies everything my mother valued: grace, beauty, and family devotion. 56 witnesses watched my stepsister receive my grandmother's necklace, the one my grandmother had explicitly promised to me before she died. But what my parents didn't know was that 3 years ago, when my grandmother died and that necklace went missing from her estate, I'd filed a police report. And what they really didn't know was that when I took Hannah to get the necklace appraised for insurance 2 weeks later, the appraiser, a specialist in estate jewelry who worked closely with law enforcement, would immediately recognize it from the active theft report and call the police while we were still in his shop. Before I tell you what happened when 2 detectives arrived at my parents' 30th anniversary party with a warrant and evidence that my stepmother had stolen the necklace from my grandmother's belongings, please like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy this story. Drop a comment. Where are you watching from and what time is it? I'd love to hear from you. Now, let me take you back to where this really began. Growing up in Charleston, I learned early that after my mother died when I was 12, I became invisible in my own family. My family consisted of my father, a successful commercial real estate developer, my stepmother Caroline, who he married when I was 14, her daughter Hannah, who was 6 at the time, and me, the daughter who reminded my father of his dead wife and therefore needed to be replaced. Hannah brought home a second chance. I brought home grief. When I was 15, I won the South Carolina Young Writers Award for a collection of poetry I'd written about losing my mother. First place out of 800 entries. The prize was $5,000 and publication in a state literary anthology. I showed my father the acceptance letter, hoping maybe this would make him see me again. He glanced at it. "That's nice, Olivia. Go show Caroline. I'm helping Hannah with her homework." Hannah was 7 years old, struggling with second-grade math. I was 15, winning state literary awards, and my father was too busy to look at me. That same week, Hannah drew a picture of our family in art class. Just stick figures. Not even particularly good stick figures. Caroline framed it, hung it in the living room, spent the entire dinner talking about Hannah's artistic talent and creative vision. I told myself it was fine. Hannah was little. She needed more attention. At 18, I got accepted to the College of Charleston with a full academic scholarship to study English literature. I wanted to be a writer, to teach, to help other kids who'd lost parents find words for their grief. My father came to my high school graduation but left during the ceremony. Hannah had a dance recital. He gave me a card with $100 inside. For college expenses. 2 years earlier, when Hannah turned 10, they'd thrown her a birthday party that cost $8,000. A princess theme with hired performers, a custom cake, 75 guests. I told myself it was different. Milestone birthdays were bigger celebrations. But the real shift happened when my grandmother Margaret, my father's mother, my last connection to my own mother, got sick. Grandma Margaret had never liked Caroline. She'd told my father as much. "That woman doesn't love you. She loves your money. And she's turning you into someone I don't recognize." But my father had stopped listening to my grandmother when she criticized his choices. Grandma Margaret and I were close. She'd been my anchor after my mother died. She understood grief. She'd lost my grandfather young, had raised my father alone. She saw me when no one else did. When I was 16, Grandma Margaret took off her sapphire necklace, the one she always wore, her most prized possession. This was given to me by your grandfather on our wedding day in 1952. He saved for 2 years to buy it. 3 sapphires surrounded by diamonds, set in platinum. She held it up to the light. When I die, this is yours, Olivia. Your mother should have had it, but cancer took her too soon. So it goes to you. Not Caroline, not Hannah. You. You're my granddaughter, and this necklace represents our family, the real Thompson family. Grandma, don't talk about dying. I'm 82 years old, sweetheart. We have to talk about it. She pressed the necklace into my hand. I'm putting it in my will, explicitly. This necklace goes to Olivia Thompson. But I'm telling you now so you know. If anything happens to me and this necklace doesn't reach you, someone took it, and you fight for it. 3 years ago, Grandma Margaret died at 88. Peaceful, in her sleep, exactly how she wanted. The funeral was enormous. She'd been a pillar of Charleston society. 300 people attended. At the reading of the will, her lawyer went through the bequests. The house went to my father. Some savings went to various charities. Smaller items to friends and distant relatives. Then, to my granddaughter Olivia Thompson, I leave my sapphire and diamond necklace, commissioned in 1952, with the explicit instruction that this heirloom remain in the direct Thompson bloodline. This necklace is not to be given to anyone outside the family. I waited for the lawyer to hand me the necklace. Instead, he frowned. I don't have the necklace. According to my notes, it should have been in her safe deposit box, but the box was empty when we inventoried the estate. My father looked uncomfortable. Mother always wore that necklace. Maybe she lost it. Lost it? I said. Grandma never took it off except to shower. Where is it? Caroline spoke up. Margaret was getting forgetful near the end. She probably misplaced it. These things happen with elderly people. She wasn't forgetful. She was sharp until the day she died. The lawyer made a note. I'll investigate, but if the necklace can't be located, there's nothing more we can do. I didn't accept that. I went to Grandma's house, now my father's house, though he'd already listed it for sale. Searched everywhere. The necklace was gone. I called the police, filed a theft report, gave them photos of the necklace, the will documentation, everything. The detective was sympathetic but realistic. Estate jewelry theft is hard to prove, especially when it's family. Unless someone tries to sell it or it shows up somewhere, there's not much we can do. My stepmother took it, I know she did. Can you prove it? I couldn't, but I knew. Over the next 3 years, I built my life. Finished my degree, got a job teaching English at a prestigious private school in Charleston, made $68,000 a year, published my first novel, a YA book about grief and healing. Meanwhile, Hannah coasted. She went to a mediocre college on my father's money, changed majors 4 times, barely graduated with a 2.5 GPA in communications. She moved back home, worked part-time at Caroline's friend's boutique, and spent most of her time on Instagram. My father and Caroline funded her entire life, $3,000 a month for expenses, plus rent on her apartment, plus a car, plus vacations. Hannah is finding herself, Caroline would say. Not everyone is built for traditional success like you, Olivia. Every family gathering was the same. Hours of discussion about Hannah's latest interest. Yoga instructor certification, starting a lifestyle blog, becoming a wellness influencer. 5 minutes of polite questions about my teaching that no one actually cared about. Then came Hannah's 25th birthday party. 56 people, elaborate decorations, expensive catering, and my father's announcement about giving her Grandma Margaret's necklace. I watched Caroline bring out the velvet box, the box I'd seen in my grandmother's room countless times. I watched my father open it to reveal the sapphire necklace. 3 deep blue sapphires surrounded by diamonds, the platinum setting gleaming. This has been in the Thompson family for 3 generations, my father said. My mother wore this on her wedding day. Now Hannah will have it for hers. Hannah started crying. This is so meaningful. I'll treasure it forever. I stood up. That necklace was left to me in Grandma's will. My father looked annoyed. Olivia, don't make a scene. Grandma explicitly left it to me. The will says so. Caroline's voice was sharp. The necklace was lost, you know that. But we found it last month cleaning out some of Margaret's old things we'd stored. Since it wasn't in her possession when she died, the specific bequest doesn't apply. Your father, as her heir, can distribute it as he sees fit. You found it? Where? In a box of her scarves. She must have put it there and forgotten. Lies. Grandma would never have put her precious necklace in a box of scarves. I don't believe you. Believe what you want, my father said coldly. I'm giving this necklace to Hannah. She's getting married next year. She'll actually use it. You're not even dating anyone. The implication was clear. I was alone. I didn't deserve family heirlooms. Hannah was the real daughter who mattered. I left the party. Drove home crying so hard I had to pull over. But I didn't give up. I called the detective who'd handled the theft report 3 years ago. The necklace has appeared. My parents gave it to my stepsister. They claim they just found it. Found it where? In a box of my grandmother's scarves. After 3 years? Convenient. He paused. Olivia, unless you can prove it was stolen and they knew about it, this is still a family dispute. The will said the necklace should go to you, but if it wasn't in the estate inventory, technically your father, as executor, can claim discretion. So they get away with it? Not necessarily. If someone tries to get it appraised or insured, jewelry appraisers often work with law enforcement on stolen property. Your theft report is still active in the database. If the right appraiser sees it, an idea formed. 2 weeks after the birthday party, I called Hannah, forced myself to sound friendly. Hey, Hannah. Congratulations on the necklace, it's beautiful. She sounded surprised I was being nice. Thanks, I know you're upset about it, but Dad says… I'm not upset. I've been thinking about it and you're right. You'll actually wear it at your wedding. It should be with someone who'll use it. I paused. But you should definitely get it appraised for insurance. It's valuable. If you lost it or it got stolen, you'd need coverage. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I know a great appraiser in Charleston, Robert Morrison at Morrison Estate Jewelry. He specializes in antique pieces. He'll give you a proper valuation for insurance purposes. Want me to make you an appointment? Would you? That's so sweet of you. I made the appointment, for both of us. I'll come with you if you want, help you understand the appraisal process. That would be amazing. The appointment was on a Thursday afternoon. Morrison Estate Jewelry was in a historic building downtown, elegant and professional. Robert Morrison was in his 60s, an expert in estate and antique jewelry. He also consulted with Charleston PD on theft cases, a fact I'd verified before making the appointment. Hannah and I walked in together. She was wearing the necklace, showing it off. Mr. Morrison, this is my sister Hannah. She needs an appraisal for this necklace she recently inherited. Robert's professional smile was warm. Of course. Let me take a look. Hannah took off the necklace and handed it to him. Robert examined it under magnification, checked the platinum hallmarks, measured the stones. Then he went very still. Excuse me for a moment. He stood up, taking the necklace with him. I need to check something in my reference files. He went to the back room. We heard him making a phone call. Hannah looked at me. Is something wrong? I'm sure it's fine. He's probably just confirming the hallmarks. 5 minutes later, Robert returned. He was not alone. 2 Charleston police detectives walked in behind him. Hannah Thompson? One detective said. Hannah went pale. Yes? I'm Detective Williams. This is Detective Chen. We need to ask you some questions about this necklace. What? Why? Robert spoke quietly. This necklace was reported stolen 3 years ago from the estate of Margaret Thompson. The report is still active in our database. When I examined the necklace, I immediately recognized it from the case file. Hannah looked at me, betrayed. You knew? I filed the report 3 years ago when the necklace went missing from Grandma's estate. It was left to me in her will, and then it disappeared. Detective Williams looked at Hannah. How did you come to possess this necklace? My parents gave it to me. For my birthday. They said they found it. Found it where? In a box of Margaret's things. My stepmom said Margaret must have forgotten she put it there. The detective made notes. Do your parents know you're here getting it appraised? No. Olivia suggested it and made the appointment. Detective Chen turned to me. Ms. Thompson, you set this up? My grandmother left me that necklace in her will. It went missing from her estate. I reported it stolen. And now, 3 years later, it conveniently appears, and my parents give it to my stepsister instead of me? Yes, I set this up. Because I knew Robert works with the police on stolen jewelry cases. Robert nodded. The report included detailed photos and documentation. This is definitively the same piece. Serial numbers on the platinum setting match exactly. Detective Williams looked at Hannah. We're going to need to seize this necklace as evidence, and we'll need to speak with your parents about how they came to possess stolen property. Hannah started crying. I didn't know it was stolen. I thought it was a gift. We believe you, Detective Chen said gently. But this necklace is part of an active theft investigation. We need to determine how it went from Margaret Thompson's estate to your possession. They bagged the necklace as evidence, gave Hannah a receipt, told her, and me, that we'd be contacted for formal statements. After they left, Hannah turned on me. You did this on purpose! You got me arrested! You're not arrested. But yes, I absolutely did this on purpose. That necklace was left to me. Your mother stole it from Grandma's estate, and then she and my father gave it to you, claiming they found it. Mom wouldn't steal. Your mother has been stealing from me my entire life. My father's attention, my family heirlooms, my place in my own family. This necklace is just the most valuable thing she's taken. Hannah left, sobbing. I stayed. Robert poured me a cup of tea. That was quite the operation, he said. Was it wrong? Wrong? You reported a theft. The stolen property appeared. You helped recover it. That's not wrong, that's justice. Over the next 2 weeks, the investigation unfolded. Detectives interviewed my father, Caroline, and me. They examined the estate records, the will, Grandma's safe deposit box inventory. The evidence was damning. The necklace had been inventoried in Grandma's home 3 weeks before she died. There were photos from the estate planning process. After her death, it disappeared before the official estate inventory. Caroline claimed she'd found it in a storage box, but the storage unit had been rented 2 months after Grandma's death, and the unit's access log showed Caroline had visited it numerous times, including one visit the day before Hannah's birthday party. Caroline had stolen the necklace from Grandma's house after her death, hidden it in a storage unit, and waited 3 years before finding it to give to Hannah. My father's 30th wedding anniversary party was scheduled for 3 weeks after the appraisal. 60 people invited, extended family, business associates, friends. The detectives asked if they could use the party to execute their warrant. We'd prefer to arrest Mrs. Thompson in a controlled environment where everyone can serve as witnesses to her reaction. If she's been stealing from your grandmother and lying about it for 3 years, a public confrontation might shake loose the truth. I thought about my grandmother, how she'd been dismissed by my father, how Caroline had probably been stealing from her for years. Do it. The anniversary party was at a country club, 60 people in cocktail attire, celebrating 30 years of my father's second marriage. Caroline looked triumphant. She'd won. She'd stolen my grandmother's necklace, given it to her daughter, and was getting away with it. My father gave a toast. 30 years ago, Caroline brought light back into my life. She gave me a beautiful daughter in Hannah. She made our family complete. Not a word about me, about my mother, about the family that existed before Caroline erased it. Then Detective Williams and Detective Chen walked in. "Caroline Thompson?" Detective Williams showed his badge. "We have a warrant for your arrest for theft of property valued over $10,000 and fraud in the estate of Margaret Thompson." Gasps around the room. "You're being charged with stealing a sapphire and diamond necklace from Margaret Thompson's estate, concealing it for 3 years, and fraudulently claiming to have found it to give to your daughter." Caroline started crying. "I didn't steal anything! We found it!" Detective Chen pulled out documentation. "We have photos of the necklace taken during estate planning 3 weeks before Mrs. Thompson's death, inventory records showing it should have been in her safe deposit box, and access logs for your storage unit, visited the day before you gave the necklace to your daughter." "I was just storing some of Margaret's things." "You stole a valuable heirloom explicitly left to another person in a legal will, concealed it for 3 years, and committed fraud by claiming you found it." She turned to my father. Tell them I wouldn't." My father looked stunned. "Caroline, did you take my mother's necklace?" "She hated me. She wanted me to have nothing. I deserved something from this family." Robert Morrison stepped forward. He'd come as my guest. "I'm the appraiser who identified the stolen necklace. The necklace will be returned to its rightful owner, Olivia Thompson, as stipulated in Margaret Thompson's will." Aunt Susan spoke up. "Caroline stole Mother's necklace? The one she explicitly left to Olivia?" "Yes," I said quietly. "Grandma left it to me. Caroline took it from the estate, hid it for 3 years, then gave it to Hannah, claiming she'd found it." The detectives handcuffed Caroline and led her out while she sobbed about how unfair it all was. My father approached me. "Olivia, I didn't know Caroline took it." "Yes, you did. You knew that necklace was left to me. When it disappeared, you did nothing. When Caroline claimed to find it 3 years later, you didn't question it. You chose to believe her lie because it was easier than admitting your wife is a thief." "She's my wife. And I'm your daughter, the one your mother left that necklace to. But you've spent 20 years choosing Caroline and Hannah over me. This is just the most expensive thing you've let them take." That was 7 weeks ago. Caroline took a plea deal. 2 years probation, full restitution of $47,000, and community service. The necklace was returned to me. I keep it in a safe deposit box. I'll wear it to important events, to remind myself I'm a Thompson, that I come from strong women who kept their promises. My father tried to reconcile. "I lost sight of you." "You didn't lose sight of me. You chose not to see me. For 20 years. I'm done competing for your attention." I haven't spoken to him since. Hannah called once. "I'm sorry, I really didn't know." "I believe you, but you're a symbol of everything I lost when Dad remarried." I'm 33, a published author. I have my grandmother's necklace, the symbol of a legacy someone tried to steal. Caroline didn't just steal a necklace. She spent 20 years systematically erasing me from my own family. And my father let it happen. My grandmother saw me, valued me, and even from beyond the grave, she made sure I got what was mine. The necklace is mine. The legacy is mine. The truth is mine. And that's exactly how Grandma Margaret wanted it.